Before we do this work together, it is vital that we come to a mutual understanding about the humanity and the validity of LGBTQ youth, so we understand the reasons that we must boldly and bravely work to protect them in our organizations. Trans youth face incredible hardships, and although they prove their resilience time and time again, sometimes resilience isn't enough. In schools, 77% of those who were out or perceived as transgender were verbally harassed. 24% were physically attacked and 13% were sexually assaulted. 61% of transgender and non-binary youth have been discouraged or prevented from using a bathroom that corresponds with their gender identity, which is up 3% from 2019. In their homes, 51% of trans and non-binary youth feel safe to share their identity with their parents, while only 1 in 3 find acceptance. With at-home acceptance rates so low, it is no surprise that 38% of transgender and non-binary youth have experienced housing instability. About half of those were kicked out, and another half ran away. When trans youth know they need help, almost half who have wanted to receive mental health care don't seek treatment due to concerns about the cost of care, concerns about getting permission from their parents, and concerns about finding a provider who would know how to support them. With widespread mistreatment in our schools and in rejection in our homes, being barred from playing sports, being disallowed the dignity to access a safe bathroom, and watching as many adults in our lives debate whether we should have access to life-saving health care, sometimes resilience isn't enough. In the past 12 months alone, 60% of transgender youth have engaged in self-harm. 52% have seriously considered suicide, and 21% have attempted to take their own life. That is 1 in 5 kids who have thought that they would rather be dead than face a world that tells them that they don't or shouldn't exist. 1 in 5. Every year. But there is good news. Each of us has the power in our community to change these outcomes. And all we have to do is believe kids when they tell us who they are, affirm them in every way that we can, and work to build policies and practices that ensure that they are protected across contexts. Because studies also show that for every context that a trans youth's name and pronouns are respected, their suicide risk is cut in half. For trans youth that have thriving and welcoming communities, their suicide rate falls to equal or below the national average. We can be the leaders who are working to build these communities. And in fact, we have to be the leaders who are building these communities, because these trails will not blaze themselves. We have to stop making decisions out of fear of who we may lose with radically inclusive policies and focus on what we stand to gain. For every parent that wants to fight you about gender-inclusive policies, there is a parent hoping that their child will be safe in your space because they haven't found safety elsewhere. And for every youth that has questions about why you invite people to share their pronouns during introductions, there will be another child who gets to use a pronoun that fits them for the first time in their life. You all are the most powerful people in the world to these kids, and they deserve to feel loved and respected just as they are. So thank you for being here today to do this work with us.